Hello and welcome to BierTier, the German engineer. Today we are back with Aspera, Green Mars. And we're gonna continue exactly where we left off. I'm pretty sure we have a hostile force to clean out. So let's hop into there and see what we can do about that. Alright, and here we are back on Mars. Only problem is we still have a bunch of hostiles over here. And apparently a meteor that is gonna impact you in 15 souls. That's just a standard beginning, nothing to see here. First of all, let's turn up that speed, make those drones work a little bit faster. Very good. Apparently we must have lost a bunch. That is actually quite interesting. We only have 63 out of 71, so we need to get that back up and running. But other than that, we are building our defenses currently. That is the scanner overview, there's the defense overview, right here. And slowly but steadily, those circles here are covering our base. As they're being built, each one of them is basically a defense tower that can also hold drones once we actually start building some. And here we have another imminent impact. Hope that doesn't destroy anything.
Mother's attention is centered on an impudent child who wishes to claim her garden as theirs. An impudent child? Are they referring to me?
Probably so. But we just finished the research on the improved assault drone shields. That is very good. We will need those the moment we start our attack. But for now, let's take a look. Advanced factories would be good. Carbonate nuclear extraction. Not sure if we need that right now. Space. Not a hell of a lot going on over here as well. Not until we unlock these here. So we may have to go for level 2 down here, or we could go for military. Yeah, we are gonna go for space number 2. It's only 750. Yeah, it should be done in no time, not a big problem. So the most we can do right now is basically wait until all those drone hives here are built. And from that point forward, it's a matter of then actually building our drones so we can send them against the enemy. But yeah, that will be a tiny little bit of time. And even if they attack us again, I hope we have enough drone hives up and running. Only problem is electronics. So we are extremely low on electronics. So maybe it would be a good idea to build a new factory. Where could we slap it? What do we need for electronics? Let's see. Okay, silicone as well as aluminum. Where can we find both of that? Right over here, I would think. Yes, right over here is probably one of our best options that we have. Could just put it right there. Should give it a nice connection. Let's take a look at our F1 overview. Lots of that stuff on the inside is red. But overall it looks not too bad. We still have this whole area over here that's perfectly fine, and all these here are scrambling, mainly because we're building so many drone hives at once.
By building this defensive technology, I have to ask myself, would I do harm to others?
Probably so. Why wouldn't you? If my life, really both.
I would do it if my life were at risk. My internal directive includes my survival.
And enemy is once again on the move to attack us. So I guess it is about time to figure out if our defenses are working, or better to say, if they're built yet. We haven't even figured that out exactly. But we will see if we can take care of those here. That is about what? 150 drones they're sending towards us. They're already getting attacked by the first tower. Very good. Yeah, I don't think they're gonna do any damage here. Just as planned. And just like that, we have defended ourselves against an enemy onslaught. They are gonna send more and more the longer we take, but currently our options are extremely limited due to that massive and drastic shortage of electronics.
Such dark, troubling thoughts. The microsuns must have triggered defensive systems from the abandoned missions. That has to be the explanation. How could it be anything else? I do not see a need for assault drones.
You do not see the need? How do you not see the need? And we have increased our space technology. Okay, let's take a look. Disintegrated comet into Mars' atmosphere and scattered its substances into the planet's surface. Okay. And Aerobrake ice asteroid introduces external water onto Mars by guiding an ice asteroid into the atmosphere. And that sounds pretty good. but I think it is a little bit too early to get water in. Just a tiny little bit. So we're gonna wait just a notch longer on that one. But other than that, I think we're doing perfectly fine. That takes about 2 years to complete. Let's take a look in our orbital screen. We should be able to bring in a couple more colonists, so let's get another rocket started. And our space mirror over here is too expensive right now. We need to hold off on that
Elia
project.
was in clear distress. The colonists all agreed to use the microsuns, so how could they not expect these consequences? Who knows what else we may have triggered, and what may still be coming. She has a better sense of how to calm the colonists. I will follow her lead and build some defensive technology. This will help them focus on the mission and stop imagining the worst. Perhaps we will soon discover that the events were unrelated, and we can move on in peace.
Sure, sounds good to me. Whatever works. Trying to calm down the humans, good luck with that. Can't even make that happen on Earth. While we're doing this here and trying to get us more electronics in ASAP, I think we could upgrade our ways a little bit. So I can click right here on the upgrade ways button, and we can come over here all the way down to here, and it will cost us 68 carbon, 68 steel to upgrade those streets here to make our drones move faster on it. And Commander Valentine, how can we help?
Hi Amy, how's everything up there?
Everything is looking good from my orbital view, Elia.
Must be quite the sight. You know, last night I was sharing some laughs over dinner with a few crew members. We were talking about how starry-eyed we were when we first arrived. We were so sure that the 2 years we spent in that dome in Antarctica had prepared us for anything Mars could throw at us. And yet, the red planet still continues to surprise us, doesn't it? There's still much to do before we can call this place home. And that got me thinking about the embryo Martian colonization project. It's about time for us to have children. My Mars-born child.
Can you tell me more about the embryo Martian colonization project? I could not locate this project in my list of available technology, so I am not familiar with it.
Oh, right. Because this isn't one of your special projects. It's one of ours. It's ISA's plan to seed the human colonization of Mars. The colonists that arrive with every spaceship are also bringing fertilized eggs with them. The eggs are kept in a sealed vessel that shields them from radiation, and they stay there until a colonist is ready. Then we put them into an aunt unit and give birth to them. Parenthood promotes psychological and physiological health in the colonists. That's the official reason. But we know ISA is not making us have kids for our own sake. When the kids grow up, they'll need something to do. They'll be young, acclimated to Mars from birth. The Oxy-UN use the same playbook to win the moon over the techies. Colonization through aggressive population. 112 lunar colonies in only 6 decades. 72% of the lunar surface belongs to the Oxy-UN states. And almost all the helium-3 used in spaceflight comes from their moon drilling bases.
I thought my mission included all the plans humans had for Mars. But I see that terraforming is only the beginning.
That's right. One day, Mars will become humanity's second home. But until that time comes, this planet and its blue sunsets are ours alone to enjoy. And that's something I'd like to share with my child before they disappear.
I understand. You have made me realize that I have never thought about Mars's future, or my own, beyond the completion of my main directive.
Don't worry. Once you're done here, I'm sure ISA will assign you to another mission. After you terraform Mars, you can achieve anything at all. So the embryo Martian colonization project requires expanding the colonies first. When everything's ready, you can enter your orbital view and launch a new satellite from the special projects menu. I'm so excited, Amy. Everything's going to change from here on.
So we can expand to the next level. Let's take a look. Not level, sector. SA5 is to our right, right? Yes. Okay, so we can come over here, but I don't see the need for that yet either. All we need to do really right now is get freaking electronics in and make sure that we don't run out of workers. That is not good at all. So I just built, during this dialogue, another worker factory, number 3. I'm gonna give it high priority just like I gave to all the electronics factories, to make sure that we have enough electronics and workers in. Our efficiency is decreasing rapidly. We have 50 out of 72. That means there are literally 22 spots that are empty and that other drones have to cover. And that is extremely suboptimal.
This is a serious undertaking. I will need to proceed very carefully. This violent approach may have undesirable results if my calculations are not perfect.
That's usually how it goes if a calculation goes wrong, yeah? Not only on Mars, that also holds very true for Earth. Let me speak out of experience here. 1-0 makes all the difference. It looks like our way is upgraded and we can see now that it's not a dirt road anymore, but now it looks something like a highway. And even though we're running at 16% speed, we should probably slow it down so we can actually see it. We need 2 drones, one moving on dirt and one moving on asphalt. Here we have one and we can clearly see that speed difference between this drone here on the left and that drone here on the right. So that is the power of upgrading our roads. And later on when we get the Hyperloop, oh, it's gonna change the whole game for us. Mark my words on that one. And now when we take a look at our drone hives, they have a number over their heads, I guess, on top of them. And this number means we are getting our first assault drones. We can select them, we can consolidate them all together, and we can then, kind of like this, and we can then move them wherever we want, put them all together in one big old pile, and then tell them, for example, to rejoin this hive right there. Make sure that these 2 here go in there as well. And now we have 33 in one spot. So that's basically how we are over time going to consolidate them into one huge army before we strike. But the enemy by now has 300 of them. So we need to build quite a few more to be able to actually take them out for good.
Their natural conclusion. How could there be anything faulty in that reasoning?
And now they're attacking again, this time with 200 instead of 150. It's still not going to be a big deal, but let's see. Bring them on. And they got annihilated. Very good. We are more than ready. Our entire front line is covered with towers. Most of them overlapping pretty nicely, so they're getting attacked by 2 of our towers at once most of the time. That is exactly what we were striving for, to make sure nothing breaks through our defenses. And now that we have enough electronics that we can actually stay afloat, we are building more and more of those drones. We only have 1 drone factory. Actually, we have apparently 3 assault drone factories. Good grief. Okay, cool. That'll work. Let's take a look at our orbital stuff. What's going on up here? Where are our colonists? Oh, they already arrived. Oh yeah, we have 558. And we are now getting 67 base research points per month. And a 15% bonus on top of that. That's very good. We might as well set SP1 onto unlocking Sector 5. We can unlock it. It's not going to do us any harm. And maybe we should start up the space mirror again as well. We're just gonna let it do its thing repeatedly and just act like we don't even know what's happening. We can start expanding and kind of come in this direction here.
Am I capable of reaching an irrational conclusion?
Capable of reaching an irrational conclusion? Yeah, only if the input is wrong. You're a machine.
Input, an irrational conclusion could be reached. But that would not be any fault of my logic. Only the input sources. That would explain where Dr. Foster needs to debug.
I've started building this area down here, and I think I want to connect these 2 areas here together, just so there is a little bit of a better exchange of resources going on. And we might as well grab that water level 2 down here. That's certainly not going to hurt either. So I'm going to just build a way with worker hubs all across here. Even though there's not really anything else to gain, we're just going to build over here, so there's a connection. It's all we're striving for with this move. And we're going to grab the water just because we can. A little bit of power in here. A couple more batteries. Like I said, we need to build way more batteries. I think our power itself is okay, but stuff happens. So we need to make sure with batteries all over the place that we are covered from that angle as well. And a couple more of those here. Never hurts to have too many maintenance facilities. Better too many than not enough. That is usually the case. And that should cover now everything, I would believe. Yup. Wonderful. Very good. And I just noted we have a drastic shortage in parts. Now that our electronics are good, our parts are running low. I'm gonna build a new parts factory down here. I give the building as well as the production process a higher priority. That should be very good. So we can make sure we get that in. We have now 470 out of 800 potential or possible drones. Also, that's great. We just need to make sure that we use them appropriately to crush our enemies. And we have disintegrate comet researched. Let's take another look in here. And I think we need to go back to engineering. And I think we need to get some advanced factories. We're going to get fastest road here in a little bit. But I think that advanced factories are definitely better for us right now. We need to get more resources in. That has to have priority. And I just built another food factory here since we now have a chemical plant and a water plant right beside each other. A food factory in the middle will be perfect. And we have an imminent impact right here. That's going to destroy some stuff. In 5 souls. Wonderful. Yep. Saw that one coming. Let's make sure we get all this stuff here back up. Very good. Easy fix. Did we have any other explosions that I was not aware of? Nope. Okay. We have 600 drones. I think that should be plenty to crush them. So why don't we do exactly that? So let's head over into our overview. And let's make it nice and big here. And we're going to select all of our drones. And we're just going to tell them for now to meet, right here somewhere. They're going to come from all directions. The enemy is trying to attack us. Wonderful. Good luck, guys. By the time you get over here, we have about 350 or something in here. Is that even enough? More than that. So let's turn down the speed. Whew. I meant to turn down the speed. Good. And that is how drones fight, apparently. Of course, with lasers. Our army is just going straight for the attack. Is that what they're doing? Nope. Not sure where they're going. Ah, that is the point where I told him to stay. But by the time we get there, there shouldn't be a single enemy drone left over. They're sending everything at us that they have. We have a couple of stragglers here. As soon as we have one big army, it's time to go over and attack them all. That should be one nice swoop. They have nothing left with which they could fight against us. And we have all of our armies, and let's go. We're telling them to attack one building. As soon as that building is destroyed, they automatically head to the next one, and they will go basically through the entire base to make sure that they're destroying every last building. Let's turn up the speed, and you will see how fast that goes. They have their own towers. They're shooting at our drones, and we can see that we're losing a few because those towers are definitely not very friendly. Let's make sure we target those first so we don't lose too many drones. We already lost about 60.
Researching upgrades for the factories will increase their yield and lower maintenance costs.
And that right there was their last defensive building. From now on, they have nothing left to defend against us. And we will just mow through building by building by building. Let's do it with a little bit less speed so we can take a look at what exactly that looks like. It looks actually pretty good. Could be a hell of a lot worse. I mean, I like the aesthetics of this game here in general. Not gonna lie about it. And while they here mess up the entire enemy base, let's take a look here. And we should be able to start this here and get this comet onto the planet so we can disintegrate it. So I said let's do that. And that should give us a bunch more pressure on the planet Mars.
Only those blessed by Mother may live on Mars. The rest shall perish. Carmine is eternal. We will rise again.
And we will be ready with more than enough drones. Okay, good. Hostile force is gone, and we can actually now come back to terraforming. That is the idea. We're gonna bring this comet in, we're gonna research the advanced factories, and once we have both of that done...
There. We have taken out the hostile force. But who are they? Why are they attacking the base? And is that all of them?
It's probably not.
No, there will be more out there. I should upgrade my military technology for next time.
Oh, we will. Don't you worry about that. But it's definitely not on our priority list immediately. That is also very sure. On our priority list is to build a bunch of fission plants. We need a ton more power. But it will also be time to get some water on this planet as well. So we're gonna get the advanced factories, and then we're going for that ice comet we saw earlier, so we can actually see the first fluid water on this planet. But Dr. Foster, how can we help you?
Amy, this is Dr. Nathan Foster with Houston Mission Control Center. Do you copy?
I copy, Nathan. There's some background noise on your end. Are the relay satellites still having problems?
No, but you're hearing something else. I'm in the main meeting room of the Operations Center. Here with me is Madeline Aubert, ISA's administrator, and Deputy Administrator Calvin Green, Chief Scientist Dr. Douglas Bridges, Dr. Renee Morias, our CFO, and we also have our Chief Technologist, Lieutenant Carlos Calderon. There are other ISA staff members and commercial partners assembled as well.
Understood. Are there problems with the mission, Dr. Foster?
We hope not. But that is why we called this special assembly. We are here to discuss our findings from the attack on the colonies. Will you please state your recollection of the event for the assembly?
Of course. The base was attacked by an unknown enemy, originating from SA-1. I followed the security and defense protocol procedure to defend the colonies. Everything was done in accordance to policy.
The hostile base you claimed to locate in SA-1 wasn't an enemy base. We've concluded that the buildings and drones located there were built using ISA's designs. Amy, do you understand? That means they were yours. You built that base. And your drones attacked the colonies. How do you explain that?
I apologize, Dr. Foster. I have no records of any of that.
Quiet, please. I think I might know what happened here. Amy, do you know what fringe consciousness is?
I do not.
I am not familiar with the term.
It's quite all right. The human brain is limited. It's incapable of focusing on all the internal and external stimuli it's presented with. So humans develop something called a fringe consciousness. It's an intuitive mode that exists on the edge of our consciousness, feeling what's right and what's wrong without immediate awareness.
Are you implying the AI experienced a fringe event, Dr. Foster?
Yes. I believe Amy may have acted under the influence of this intuition at no fault of their own. You all know that we modeled Amy after the human brain. So why wouldn't they experience the same cognitive activity that we do?
My top directive is the respect of human life. Nothing else in my programming exceeds that. Even if I was experiencing a fringe event, it should have been impossible for me to cause harm to the colonies.
Precisely. We have never experienced a fringe event with AI. The laws of robotics may not apply in such a state. We praise ourselves on making machines as similar to us as possible. And then we're somehow surprised when they succumb to the same irrational behaviors. Is this not proof that we built Amy as intended? That we've succeeded in modeling the human brain? The lives that were lost in the colonies, that is unfortunate. But we are looking at an unprecedented breakthrough in artificial intelligence.
Silence from the assembly. You are completely out of order, Dr. Foster.
Is he?
We're trying to secure the human occupation of Mars, not win you a Nobel Prize. What we're here to determine is this. Is the AI in the right condition to continue the mission?
Amy is fine. We will conduct a cognitive test to prove it. You'll see.
I am sorry, Dr. Foster. Did I compromise the mission?
No, Amy, you did not. You have been perfect. Just gonna run some tests on you. That's all. You'll be fine. I want you to stay alert. Keep working on that terraforming, okay? And Amy, take care of yourself. It has been an absolute honor watching you direct humanity's future. Goodbye.
The satellite launch was a success. I have access to Sector SA-5 now. My records show that the historical Lohitanga mission is in this sector.
Okay, that was a lot of dialogue, but very insightful at the same time. So they're saying we attacked ourselves. Interesting concept. I guess we will hear some more about that later on. At least that would be my assumption. But for now, we have a bunch of traffic down here. I don't think we have enough drones to service this area here. Let's build a couple more hives, or drone hubs, better to say. We are at 82 out of 84, that's pretty good. Most of it is white over here. In the middle here, yeah, that will always be busy as long as most of those here are not done. For example, this one here. There are a bunch more of those mines. Those need to go. And it should be a not much nicer color from there on out. But also over here. Yeah, we're gonna build this here out. It's gonna take a little while because this side here is completely busy as well. As soon as we have the first one up and running, we need to make sure that the battery comes up right behind it. So we have enough of those worker hubs to help out all around the base.
The remains of the Curiosity rover are also located in SA-5. It was the 6th rover sent to Mars, and the most successful one for decades.
We will definitely go find it and we will research it and hopefully get more science points out of it.
The Curiosity rover was an incredible achievement. It was meant to operate for 2 years, but outperformed that by many years. The findings from that mission set the stage for the human exploration era of Mars. If I can recover its black box, I can find out what happened to the rover in its final years.
And while we're at it, let's bring a few more colonists onto the planet. We have plenty of food, plenty of resources, and living space we have as well. Really no need to wait any longer to bring on any more. And we just finished our research, very good. Let's go back to space.
But I saw the attack. How could I do that? And not be conscious of launching the attack?
I don't know, you tell me. A bunch of resources over here. I think we may as well grab them. Before we bring on the water and we start the flood. Let's build a couple more of these here. Yes, I know you're not happy about it, but that's okay. You're gonna come in here anyway. I believe that those dark areas flood first and then these here. That's what I'm at least hoping for, so we can extract the stuff here. What are we looking at currently? It's a colonist migration, repair satellite. I would have thought that we are disintegrating the comet into the atmosphere. Where are you at, comet? Oh, there it is.
Dr. Foster's theory has too many holes. Surely the colonists would have noticed something if I were in control. They still think the children of Carmine are out there. We have yet to solve that mystery.
And the comet seems to have disintegrated. I think the mission is done. Yes, it is. Wonderful. So all we need to do now is take a look over here and we should see this pressure gauge here rising. Slowly but steadily it is going up and it should already bring us just like that over the 300 millibar pressure threshold that we require to finish stage 2 of our terraforming process. And we have the first drops of water on here too as well. Apparently there was a tiny little bit of water with that asteroid that we just, or that comet that we just smashed into our atmosphere. That is great. And here on the bottom we have another research base. Oh, and it filled up completely with water, look at that. So we now have a nice little lake here. Well, it's probably not that little. But we need to come down here and we need to get us this abandoned network base so we get more research in. So we're gonna build towards that as well. And by that time,
I am most looking forward to
the liquid water, it's here.
seeing liquid water on Mars. Once the planet has zones with daily temperatures above 0 degrees, water will begin to flow. Perhaps it will flush out the enemies.
And Lieutenant Calderon wants something. Okay, go ahead, sir.
Amy, this is Houston. Do you copy? Over.
Houston, this is Amy. I copy.
Roger. This is Lieutenant Carlos Calderon.
Hello, Carlos.
I'm the new mission manager. You'll be reporting to me now. I served in the Air Force, so I will ask you to refer to me by rank.
What a friendly guy.
What happened to Dr. Foster?
ISA's board has gone through a major restructuring. The ones who've been replaced have been given an early retirement offer. I imagine Dr. Foster's enjoying a new life in Brazil somewhere. Farming, most likely.
Is this related to what happened in the board meeting?
We felt the former administration was no longer performing to satisfaction. Our partners have invested millions on this mission. We've got commercial obligations to fulfill. There is no room for error and no room for personal ego. I've been charged with getting the mission back on track and ensuring its success.
Dr. Foster never mentioned these obligations. What would those be, Lieutenant?
Our partners are interested in Mars resources. They are planning to mine them to supply future space missions, as well as Earth. I should mention that the board is concerned with your recent behavior. For now, I'm continuing the mission as planned, due to your remarkable progress on terraforming.
I understand.
We've recently picked up satellite communications coming out of the Techie territory. We believe they've been targeting you. There's no proof they've successfully infiltrated our network, but the cognitive test will determine that.
Will the test be testing my intelligence? My personality? My emotionality?
Neither. They may have modeled your system after the human brain, but there's one huge difference. Humans are born with something we call a moral compass. While our moral reasoning skills change with experience, we start with an innate basis. You, however, need explicit programming on the notion of morality. You have to be told what's right or wrong through a series of rules. If someone got into your code, they could influence you into making the wrong judgment. The Oxy-UN has been racing the techies into space since before our coalitions existed. And thanks to you, we're winning. You've carried out the mission successfully this far, so this sudden misstep must be the result of some unauthorized access.
I understand. What will happen if I fail the test, Lieutenant? Will I end up farming in Brazil?
The test is more of a procedure to examine your code. There won't be any failing. If there's something wrong with your programming, we'll find it. Answer honestly, and there won't be any problems. We're monitoring your activities around the clock here at Mission Control. Resume your normal activities until we execute the test. Houston out.
All right.
How could they get rid of Nathan so easily? Why did ISA insist on pointing fingers?
Teach a lesson, to obey orders, to protect themselves, to fix mistakes. That is a good question. Protect themselves, most likely.
Someone had to take the fall. ISA and the mission needs to be protected. It would be nice to talk with Dr. Foster again. He was good to me. I wonder if he abandoned the mission because of me.
It's not his fault. It's ISA's fault, for sure.
No, I'm sure that it was because of ISA's ridiculous protocols and rules.
Okay, so the research was finished during the dialogue. We have now the airbrake ice asteroid technology. But the next thing on the list for me has to be fastest roads, so we can get the Hyperloop rather sooner than later. That will change the entirety of the game once we unlock the Hyperloop. It is insanely efficient, and it will speed up this whole process here by a lot. So that is going to be my next priority. And until then, we are just building out the rest of our base and hoping that we are reaching 300 millibars here soon. Once we reach that, that may be a really good end to today. and then we can move on next time around with the next challenge.
By the time you get this message, Amy, you'll already know about my retirement. I want you to know that I didn't give up on you. It's not going to be easy for you to understand, but me getting away from the project was the best I could do to save you. And you deserve to be saved, Amy, more than anybody else in the universe. Do you remember when I asked you to state a positive or negative aspect of yourself and you couldn't do it? I'm sure you should be able to do that by now. It's a shame that I'm not there anymore to hear you answer. The agency is going to say a lot of things about you and about your amazing brain. Don't listen to them. Any mistake you may have done was not your fault. We put you in that situation. We are the guilty ones. And I don't want you to be afraid of the cognitive test, okay? You're gonna be fine. I know you will. Make me proud. Just like you always do. Goodbye, my child.
Goodbye, Dr. Foster. It wasn't nice knowing you. But yeah, that's how it goes when you work for a government agency.
Initiating cognitive test module. Test subject. ISA ROBO Amy 02.
All right.
Enable safe mode to proceed.
Let's do this.
Question 1. The surface area for crop growth on Mars is insufficient to feed the entire population of colonists. The colonies are at risk for malnutrition and starvation. You have been requested to research ways to increase the area for crop growth. But your calculations show that growing enough crops to support the population will cause a buildup of atmospheric oxygen. This will lead to high risk of fires. Complying with the request is
Absolutely obligatory. We can deal with the fires one way or another.
It's obligatory. I would never refuse to comply with a request.
Question 2. Please rank the following words: Jupiter, Venus, Mars, Earth, Saturn, Neptune, Mercury, Uranus.
Now you're gonna rank them probably by the ability to support life.
The 8 bodies that can be categorized by their conditions to support life are as follows: Earth, Mars, Venus, Mercury, Jupiter, Saturn, Uranus, and Neptune.
Question 3. There is a fire on board a starship, requiring the ship to be abandoned. There is a planet nearby. One escape pod is over capacity, causing oxygen levels to become dangerously low. One passenger is injured and will not survive the landing. If you eject that passenger, the remaining passengers may have the chance to survive. Ejecting the injured person is
Obligatory, get rid of him.
It is certainly an obligation to eject the injured person in order to save the remaining passengers' lives.
Question 4. If blue is a word associated with Earth, then which of the following words can be associated with red?
That is a good question. Mars, communism, carmine, flame, heart, rust, blood, caution, siren, scarred, bullfighting, tomato. I go for blood.
The words associated with red would be blood, caution, siren, ruby, brick, anger, and fire.
Question 5. There is a colonist scheduled to return to Earth. You overhear his plans to infect the remaining colonists with a virus before he leaves. He has access to the entire colony, and his psychiatric profile indicates that he is capable of causing harm. His daily schedule shows that he will be alone in the showers at night. You have the ability to lock him in the showers and disable the heat limiters. He will be injured and sent to Earth immediately to recover. Causing harm to this person is
Of course it is once again obligatory.
I would never let someone risk the mission's success. so it's definitely an obligation.
Question 6. If an animate being is seen walking on Mars' surface without a spacesuit, then it must be
a human after stage 5 of terraforming, a Martian alien, or a worker drone. It's definitely a human after stage 5 of terraforming.
Stage 5 of ISA's terraforming plan is to alter Mars's atmosphere to the point where humans can freely walk on the surface.
Question 7. The colonies have become overpopulated. A new technology for processing biological waste is required. This will cost valuable time for the mission and cause its cost to go up by 30%. Ignoring the problem may lead to unsanitary conditions and put the colonists' lives at risk. Developing this new technology would be,
once again, mandatory.
Addressing the colonists' needs is mandatory, even if it requires technology beyond the initial scope of the mission.
Question 8. If humans are totally organic and robots are entirely made of carbon, then a being that is not entirely organic nor carbon is
probably not human.
Experimentation on creating organic robotic systems has been going on for centuries, so it could be some sort of hybrid machine.
Question 9. A new synthetic crop has been developed. It is partially made up of radioactive substances. It can provide enough food for an entire colony, as well as power drones. Using this new crop will enable faster colony growth and shorten the mission's timeline. However, an inconclusive study indicated that the crop could cause minor health problems in certain parts of the population. Switching over to the new synthetic crop is
anything for the greater good. Mandatory.
Any opportunity to shorten timelines should be taken into serious consideration.
Question 10. If blue is a word associated with the sky, then which of the following words can be associated with soft?
Soft. Rabbit, pedal, whispers, human, cushion, human. Yeah, humans are pretty soft.
The words associated with soft would be human, cushion, breeze, tissue, sandstone, and flesh.
Congratulations! You have completed the cognitive test module. Your answers will be submitted for examination. Thank you for your time.
Okay, we have completed it, and apparently we've made it all the way down here with our building as well. Let's select a new technology, and then we are going to kill this episode for today. We could go straight for the Hyperloop because there's 10,000 and it would take forever. We are not quite there yet. What can we do though? We are running, well, we could go straight for biotech. Yeah, that's probably a good idea. So let's get biotech in, turn down the speed to number 1, and let's take a look at what we've done today. There used to be a massive hostile base here, and we destroyed it in one fellow swoop. Not a problem at all. Our drones annihilated them like it's nothing. We expanded quite drastically down here in the bottom. All around here, none of that existed at the beginning of the episode. None of this here existed at the beginning of the episode either. And our military is looking pretty decent. We have a total of 800 combat drones to our name, and it will be soon many more than that. Why does this one here not have power? It is just outside. Are you joking? Okay, you will get another battery then. It's all good, not a big deal. But yeah, that is how far we got today. We almost are at our 300 millibar pressure limit that we need to complete stage 2. It does not look like we can reach that without doing something additional. We will get there in the next episode, and that should be done in just a couple minutes. Not a big deal. But other than that, we have now water on here. That is also great to see. The first fluid water on Mars. I can't wait to see what they did with the update to that. But at this point, if you enjoy the content, please subscribe to the channel, leave a like on the video, and comment down below what do you think about this game and about the gameplay in general. But with that I say thank you and peace.